I'm Tyler Benedict. I am a member of the MVS class of 2009. I'm also a 7th and 8th grade English teacher. I put the students in small groups with each other and sort of edit papers. I also will give them lots of time to work on their own. The guidance is coming from me on a one-to-one kind of individual basis, in the sense that I'll pop in, sort of kneel down next to them, ask to see where they are, ask where they're going, if they're having trouble, if they're stuck. We sort of talk through the problem. If you're in this class, you are collaborating with just about anyone in the room. I can guide them, but I try to give the students the most opportunities possible to guide each other. My 7th grade classes right now have really latched on to this idea of what's called a Socratic circle. These chairs will all get set up in a circle, and I am not part of the discussion at all. Their job is to find an entry point into a poem or a chapter in a book or a concept, and essentially talk through it with each other and run a discussion that tries to dive deeper. And my job is to listen to them and try to keep a record of what's happening. So with that, it's all them. A big part of doing that exercise well is cultivating an atmosphere of trust. Trust between me and a student, trust between everybody, to sort of know that the environment is safe enough that you won't be disregarded or discounted. You have to do a lot of groundwork at the very beginning of the year to sort of get them to a point where they can do that. I personally am really open with the students. Making that personal connection, or trying for that personal connection, I think is really vital for an atmosphere of trust. At least they can trust me, and they feel like that I have their best interests at heart, that I am concerned about their well-being. If the students don't feel as though they can trust me, or they don't feel as though I care about them individually as people and not just as students, good learning doesn't take place in that environment. You have to have it, because otherwise people feel as though there's an antagonistic relationship between students and teachers. I worked out the math one time. My class is essentially like 1/20th of their life. To have that sort of disproportionate belief that this should be the most important thing, it's not going to be. It's never going to be. That sort of empathetic connection with students is important, to sort of acknowledge that there are other things going on. I think it comes down to being frank and open with them. When something is going wrong, I think it's important to acknowledge that it's gone wrong immediately. The knowledge that I teach you is basically how to communicate what you think. It's communication, it's persuasion, and if you can communicate effectively, you will be well prepared for whatever line of work you aspire to enter, whatever class you take, whatever conversations you have. Figuring out what you think is just as important. Exploring through reflective writing, through small group discussion, through big group discussion, through stuff facilitated by me. The grammar, they learn a lot through their writing. I basically look at what they've done, what they write. I don't have a prescribed route through the grammar. They kind of tell me what they need through the assignments that they do. I think the thing that MVS is most strong with right now is the collaborative atmosphere. I think that MVS strives to create a safe atmosphere. Most people are as driven to learn as you are. You are expected and encouraged to stretch yourself, explore concepts, and do things that you may have never done before. I have high expectations for the kids. I think they're capable of a lot of really sophisticated things.